This is the all-new Greenger Honda CRF E2, and today we're going to be uncovering the truth about this bike. Our first impressions of this bike is that it is 100% quality, which I didn't expect based on reading statistics. One of the first comments that we get is how this bike looks like a real dirt bike, and well, that's because it is. This is reflected in the price and in the fact that this can only be purchased at a Honda dealership. E2 weighs only 102 pounds, which is very light when you consider it has a coil front suspension. Noah is 6 years old, around 52 pounds, and he has no trouble lifting the bike off the ground.
Oh, okay. Was that hard?
No.
Size-wise, the bike is often compared to somewhere between a CRF 50 and a CRF 110. However, the bike is taller than the 50. But as you can see here, it's more in line with the size of a 50cc two-stroke bike made by KTM Husqvarna Gas. The bike has 2 power modes and is easily operated by any kid. Here's Noah showing that off.
How do we get this bad boy going?
So you turn the key, then it turns on.
Yeah, nice.
You have to press this yellow button so it can go. Then when it beeps, that means if you do the throttle, it goes.
All right, let's get some riding in, huh?
One note for parents to keep in mind is that you should instruct your kids to turn the key off before they dismount the bike. This will avoid any accidental throttle or riderless crashes. Having the power mode 1 makes the E2 a very friendly starting place for young riders. This bike can easily be their first bike, and then power level 2 will allow the bike to grow with their skill level. Noah is 6 and rides a 2-stroke race bike, so he's a little more advanced than most kids. However, on the E2, he was comfortable on power level 2 almost immediately. This bike is designed as a trail bike and a first bike for kids, as you should be able to tell from the figures and price point. However, scooting in at 22 miles per hour, which is what Noah reached, he does not find himself needing more power riding around the house. Any more speed would be unusable for most kids, I would think. Noah has a faster dirt bike, which he definitely prefers on the track. However, for just going out for a ride, he without a doubt always wants to ride the E2. And even at the track this weekend, he wanted to ride the E2 on the smaller track more than his race dirt bike. The suspension is safe and seems beefy enough to roll through any terrain, and the power allows it to push through anything we have encountered. At the price point, I'm not going to nitpick the suspension, as even on Noah's race bike, there's room for improvement. However, a nice set of front air forks go a long way to increase adjustability for different riders and save weight, though this would undoubtedly increase the price of the bike. The D&M rear shock does its job as intended, making the bike feel planted and predictable. One thing we noticed when jumping the bike is that the front is heavier, tending to lead to nose down in the air. This is compensated for with jump form, but just worth noting. Noah was jumping the bike at full throttle comfortably within 15 minutes of his first test ride. The bike is equipped with Kenda Millville K771 tires, which are knobby hard tires. We did end up playing around with the tire pressures, and at the track we definitely had to lower the pressures a lot. It came with pretty high pressures, so that's worth noting. When it's muddy, the kids will need to learn throttle control, which is possible, but takes some practice, as it does have a very touchy throttle. The E2 has hydraulic disc brakes, which are a must. They're easy to adjust, and both front and rear are hand controlled. I understand why this was done for the bike, and it's not a problem for Noah, as he is competent with both hand and foot brakes for the rear. But we have seen a lot of comments where users wish there was a rear foot brake. To be honest, I don't think the kid, who let's be honest is the target audience, will care. This will put a smile on their face and keep the brakes easy and familiar. I did inquire about why this was designed this way, and it was simply put that both Greenger and Honda believed that letting kids focus on braking with their hands will keep both hands on the bars and make the bike a very familiar and safe place to be as they start on their two-wheel journey. The battery life is by far one of the most impressive things about this bike so far. Noah's ripped around in power level 2 for a little over 40 minutes and the battery was still full, which I can say I did not expect. Our only experience with electric dirt bikes so far has been the Razor bikes, and they barely last 15 minutes at full power. I know what I just said is not a fair comparison. However, parents looking to purchase the E2 likely will have read about or have experience with the Razors.
We rode the bike for about 45 minutes, and the battery still full. What about that battery life? Greenger put some magic in that battery, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, super impressive. You can see I just pulled it out of the bike, and it's still full battery. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The almost zero maintenance is a very understated advantage with this bike. Make sure you keep the chain maintained and lubed, replace tires and brake pads whenever that's needed, and that's it. The battery is so easy to remove that you can take it out of the bike and into the warmth of your home to keep the life long during the winter months. Most dirt bikes can be overwhelming with the amount of maintenance needed, and being able to plug in and go the majority of the time is huge. A huge plus is also no loud noises, which means this is HOA friendly for all you little shredders. This bike gets improperly compared to the CRF 110 and the KTM Race e-bike so frequently that I believe some consumers miss the point of this bike. This is not an electric race bike that costs $6,000 out the door, and this is not a heavy 110 for an intermediate rider. This bike is for the new generation of kids who, like it or not, absolutely love anything electric. This is a first dirt bike that is quiet and lets kids focus on learning how to ride. It seems silly, but dirt bike noise can be distracting, and white noise slows down brain processing speed. The E2, in my opinion, is unmatched in quality, price, and purpose. This is a kid's first dirt bike, and one that will build their passion to hopefully match yours. Noah has been riding since he was 4 and is now 6. He flies through the air on his 2-stroke. But if you ask him what he thinks is cooler and what he wants to ride at home, 10 out of 10 times, he's going to say the E2. If you're in the market and considering this bike, then we are telling you it's time to go take a look and consider purchasing, and watch the smiles on your kids' faces. We hope you enjoyed the video. We'll do some more technical reviews of this bike coming in the future, so make sure that you like and subscribe. And as always,
Send it.
Okay, Noah, what do you think of the bike?
Pretty good.
You think this would be a good first dirt bike for some kids?
Yes. I got it all muddy.
You think it's fast enough?
Yes.
Plenty fast, right?
Yes. I really think this has more than enough power. It's good in turns, but the throttle is a little touchy. It will probably take me more practice to get used to it, but that's not a big deal. My favorite things on the bike is how it looks and how the power feels. It's crazy fast at first. Make sure you go to your Honda dealer and check one out. I think this can be a perfect first dirt bike with the modes you can ride with. Subscribe for...
She's excited.
Subscribe for more Untitled E2 content. Send it!
You think your little sister can ride this bike?
No.
Yeah, I think she can. She might need the saddle back, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you say, Savannah? You say send it?
Savannah! She
Send
said
it.
yeah.
All right. See you guys in the next one.